What's up, guys? This is Aaron from Technical Misfits, and today we're going to talk about this baby, the Sony A6300, YouTuber's weapon of choice. Alright guys, like I stated, we're going to talk about this, the Sony A6300. My opinion, it is the YouTuber's weapon of choice right now. You can check all the channels from MKBHD to Armando to Tech Ninja to everybody that pretty much does YouTube videos and want to do it in 4K. They actually are deciding to use this camera. And there's some reasons why, after owning this camera, I can see that they would use this camera for YouTube. One of the biggest things which I really like about this camera, because I've only had mine for maybe 3 weeks or so now. Yeah, I wasn't one of those people that was fortunate enough to get it as soon as it came out. But since I've actually gotten it, and also one of my close friends, Trend Beats, if you haven't checked out his YouTube, make sure you go check that out. We picked up the camera pretty much at the same time, and we pretty much love this camera. Even with its shortcomings, it's still a really, really, really good photography camera as well as a video camera, which is what I mainly use mine for. So first of all, I'm not going to do an unboxing or anything like that. If you go to YouTube, man, you find millions and millions of people that have done unboxings on this thing. And I don't think me doing an unboxing on it is going to add any value personally. Okay, now that you guys, and I'm pretty sure you heard of the A6300, I'm going to talk about my 3 reasons why I absolutely really like this camera. And then I give you 1 or 2 reasons of why I don't like the camera or what I think could be changed on it. So, point number 1. Get a pen, get a piece of paper, because you're going to want to write this down. I promise. Point number 1 is 4K recording. Yes, 4K recording in this little bitty tiny body. That to me is a big feat, because some of the bigger cameras, Canon, does not have 4K in any of their lower end cameras. That's $1,000. So that's point number 1, 4K. Okay, my number 1 gripe about the Sony A6300 is this. Really, Sony? You gonna give us a full articulating screen? Really? Like, Canon has that on cameras that's 3 years old. You could have given us I don't even care about the touch screen. You could have left out the touch screen. But give me a full articulating screen. I mean, seriously. It didn't cost, or wouldn't have cost that much more than making this hinge, than making this screen already swing out. Because us YouTubers, we need that. We need to be able to frame up our shots. We need to be able to see our shots, because a lot of times we're a one-man band and we want that. So on the next one, 6400, hopefully you won't come out with it for like another couple of years, but make the screen do that. Just do that. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. That's it. All right, got your pen and paper still there? Because now we're going to talk about point number 2. And point number 2 really doesn't have anything to do with the camera, but it has to do with the popularity of the camera. Because this camera is so popular, everyone is scrambling trying to make adapters to adapt your old lenses to what you already have, or your other lenses like Canon and Nikon to this camera. The one that I have is the Photodiox. Very simple, very easy. You slap it on there, boom. I can take one of these Canon lenses that I actually have and slap it on there, boom. Pull it off, point, turn the camera on actually, point, shoot, click. Saves me money. I have a $500 lens pretty much that I use every day on my Canon for photography, and I just slapped it on my Sony A6300. All of that was done with a $100 adapter. That's point number 2. So you can adapt your lenses, whether it's video or photography. My second dislike and my last dislike, which not really a dislike, it's more or less like I wish they would have did this, or I wish I had this, is the battery. The battery, I know it's tiny in this little small camera. I mean, you can't ask for much more out of this, but I wish we had more power, because who doesn't want more power? We want more power on our cell phones, we want more power on our tablets, we want more power on everything. This little battery, although it does pretty good as far as what the camera is asking of it, Of course, hey, there's no harm in me asking for a bigger battery. So that would be the second thing that I would say is a dislike. Well, really not a dislike, just kind of I wish I had more power. I mean, of course, just like I wish my iPhone lasted 2 days, but that's just other thing that I kind of wish Sony would have did. Last point of things I love about this camera, which is actually two-part: the autofocus and the dynamic range. Autofocus on this thing is stupid fast. Like, if you're looking at the A6300, the one thing that you will hear about along with the 4K is how fast it autofocuses. And it's not lying. I mean, it snaps on like that, especially if using native lenses. The second part of that autofocus, which helps you get great video and great photos, will be the dynamic range. Dynamic range, of course, is the difference between your colors, your brightest and your darkest color. This thing gives you so many stops of dynamic range that it's crazy. You can make a mediocre picture or video look amazing once you do a little color grading. So that's number 3 of why I actually love the Sony A6300. All right, guys, there you have it. My likes, dislikes, rants, whatever you want to call it, about the Sony A6300. All around, great camera. Not a perfect camera quite yet, but absolutely a great camera. I really like it. Like I said, if they can get the battery life a little bit better, I wish, and then make the screen just, this it, look, boom, just come out like that, we'll have a perfect camera, guys. Again, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. I make sure I answer all the questions and comments that you actually have about the camera or just in general. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media, Snapchat, Instagram, Google+. All of that stuff will be down in the description below. As well as, if you haven't picked up a Sony A6300, I'll leave some links down below of people that have them in stock and where you'll actually be able to pick them up at. So, until next time, guys, this is Aaron from Technical Misfits. Stay teched up.